What was it like playing D1?
Yeah,
Oh.
CSU being a Ram.
Yeah, being
awesome.
a Ram, yeah. So I chose the right side when it comes to
You
the
did,
state
yes, you
here. But it was awesome for me. The reason I chose CSU was one of the things, like growing up, my parents were really involved in my basketball career. From high school to junior college, they came to about every home game.
That's awesome.
Even in junior college, my mom and dad would drive from the Springs to
That's far
Sterling.
drive too.
It's
Wow.
like 2.5, 3 hours.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And even some of the road games in western Nebraska and Wyoming, they would be there.
That's
and,
awesome.
For me, it was very important to keep them as part of my basketball journey because they meant so much to me on that
Right.
road.
They're your rock.
Yeah, they're my rock, So I'm like, what can I do to kind of help with that? So CSU was a great spot. I love what they had building as far as their team, their coach, and they were up and coming at that point in time as far as revamping the basketball program. So I'm like, you know what? I like green and gold. It's not too bad. Not my
Colors will do.
Yeah, not my favorite
It's
at that
fine,
point
I
in time,
guess.
but I've grown to it a lot more. But so that was just a good place for me. They were in the Mountain West and mid-major D1 school, and I was like, yeah, my parents are right up down I-25. They'll be at every home game again and enjoying that experience with me. So that's one of the reasons I chose to go there. I just love the full aspect of everything.
And they give you a scholarship?
Yeah, I was on a
Nice.
scholarship as well there, and it was weird, the first time coming from that JUCO junior college background.
Different.
Yeah, the transition is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
I bet.
Yeah.
You're kind of on your own, and it's a dog eat dog world. And
Yeah.
coming to, they're like, oh yeah, you have a stipend that you get every month. I'm like, what's a stipend?
Yeah, you're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like, wait,
Yeah.
you're taking care of my school, right? They're like, yeah, but you get,
Like
Still
you get
get-
fun money.
yeah. I'm like, okay, I'll take it.
You're like, this'll do.
Yeah,
this'll do.
this'll do. I definitely worked hard to get to this point. And then it was just awesome. They took care of you from everything, meals, gear, all that stuff. So it was cool to be a part of that whole thing and say, that's not what I did it for, obviously, but just some of the rewards of the work that you put in, and just being able to play at that high level and just say I belong.
Yeah.
For me, it was one of those things where I was able to prove that the work that I put in meant something, and I was able to hold my own at that level. So it was just one of those surreal moments for me where I just, I look back at it now, I'm like, man, it just went by so fast, but I learned so much in that point in time.